Welcome to Horror Score Review. We're your hosts, Jesse
Vanessa.
and Vanessa. What we do is we pick a movie, usually something not super famous, that everyone hasn't already seen, and we give it a review.
Well, the movie that we picked for our first horror score review is Leprechaun Returns, the most recent movie in that franchise.
I was a fan of the original Leprechauns. It got a little tired when we got into the In the Hood series.
I think that was when they hit their peak.
Leprechaun Origins is unspeakable. You didn't see that one?
No, I didn't see that.
It's terrible, garbage movie. But Leprechaun Returns. I was on the fence about this movie. Mark Holton is reprising his role as Ozzy, which I remembered for some reason as Augie, but I checked. I guess it is. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, maybe it's because we watched Cemetery Man and that guy was Noggy.
Yes. But anyway, you might remember him from such movies as Pee-wee's Big Adventure, or as I like to remember him, he's the guy who yells, "That's Enrico Palazzo!" from The Naked Gun.
Okay, Francis.
So what should we do next?
Let's talk about the story. Let's get
Okay, let's review it. Let's review this movie. As I said before, this movie was scored on a 20-point system over 5 categories. First category is story. You want to go first?
Sure, yeah. Let's go. So, snooze fest. It was really like easy, predictable deaths in the sense that you kind of always knew who was gonna die, and I like when they change it up on me. They killed the protagonist or something in the first scene, but they didn't do that here. So I gave it an 8.
Okay. I gave it a slightly higher score. And again, maybe it was because Mark Holton had returned, but I did score it a 9 out of 20 for story. A lot of it was predictable, but what do you want from a Leprechaun sequel? I think this is the 3rd, possibly the 4th best Leprechaun movie. So.
But yeah, antagonist. Speaking of villains.
Yep, the second category. That's your villain, your monster, your bad guy, antagonist, whatever it happens to be in the film. I would have given the original Leprechaun a 16 out of 20.
He's solid.
Adorable,
yeah.
Adorable little villain.
Adorable and scary. Scary.
But this new guy, he did a decent job. But
this was like a little hornier Leprechaun, I would say.
I don't know. I liked it when he took a selfie with those people a couple times. He was big into selfies because he'd been gone for 25 years.
I don't know. That felt like pandering. Like, oh, we've got to make Leprechaun hip now and like with the times. Anyway.
So wait, Leprechaun in the Hood series wasn't pandering?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, there was clear source and demographic. Anyway, so
wait,
they
I didn't tell them my score yet.
Neither did I.
Oh. I would have given Warwick Davis's performance a 16 for portraying the Leprechaun. This one's still pretty good. You can tell it wasn't quite the same, but he wasn't bad. I liked him. He won me over by the end. I gave him a 14 out of 20. What'd you give him?
I wrote he tried and gave him a 10.
You were too hard on him.
No, he deserves it.
Okay. Next up we have
horror.
Horror. Horror category.
Which we define as
that's kill count, creative kills, scares, spookiness in general. Yeah. So, what'd you rate it?
I gave it a 14. This was my highest category. I gave it a 14. I thought there was some hilarious use of green energy. Yeah, to that pandering point earlier, it's definitely like modern day satire, green energy. So I gave it a 14 for that kind of creativity.
There was one death in particular, which I won't spoil, that was Final Destination level, laugh out loud. Oh my God, that was awesome. So that I gave it a 13 out of 20. So most of the deaths were pretty creative. The kill count, only around 6, but still pretty good. Pretty good. Next.
Media.
I called this one artistry.
Okay.
Yeah. Category 4 is artistry.
He calls this one artistry.
I'm going to talk to my camera now.
Artistry. Go ahead.
Category 4 is called artistry.
Yeah, well, my category, my camera's going to have a party later. Your camera's not invited. Oh, so for the media category, which is practical effects and music and
Set design,
scene,
makeup,
yeah.
maybe.
Sure.
Yeah, practical effects.
I gave it a 13 because there was a particularly hilarious practical effects moment with Ozzy
I think there was a couple. Yeah, I was.
with the tape.
I gave it a 14 out of 20. The practical effects that were in the movie, I thought they were pretty good. Nothing mind-blowing, but still I was happy to see that they didn't just keep falling back on CGI stuff. So there was a bunch of practical effects, and yeah, I gave it a 14 out of 20. And our final category, it's the S factor. That's ESS. You can probably see it on the screen. That's stuff like camp, originality, nudity, humor. Yeah, anything that doesn't fit into any of those other categories. Actor, rapport, star power.
The je ne sais quoi, as they say when they don't know what to say.
So it's that category that's all that other stuff that they didn't get to get points for. I gave it 11 out of 20. Like I said, I laughed out loud a few times at some of the deaths. I was happy that it ignored some of the other Leprechaun movies and gave it a fresh start. I hope to see a sequel to this sequel.
Well, as included in those factors, also like the celebrity, the star power thing, and I think Mark Holton probably affected your.
He did. I probably gave it a couple more points than you because I was happy to see Mark Holton return. Yeah.
Yeah, I gave it a 9, and I wrote, it's a classic horror sequel. What do you expect?
Okay. All right. Some horror sequels are better than the original. Aliens.
So before we get a final grade going here, I would just this new segment. Vanessa's one sentence synopsis, and that's where I tell the movie in one sentence, void of spoilers and that kind of thing, obviously. But I wrote Leprechaun Returns is a college research paper entitled Green Energy Does More Harm Than Good.
And there you have it. My grand total is 61 points for my review, horror scorecard, Leprechaun Returns.
My total was 54.
Okay.
Definitely would watch once.
I'll see it again. So that makes our combined score 57.5 out of 100. 100 probably impossible to get.
Sounds and limbs.
We'll see. And lastly, no animals were harmed in the movie on screen. Something we're going to do every episode is just let you know. Some people are, we hear them saying like, I wish I knew, if there was some kind of a warning in a movie if I see a dog get hurt or a cat get run over by a car. No animals are harmed on screen in this movie. So that's it for now, and we'll see you again next time. Make sure you, I think this is the part where we're supposed to say like, subscribe.
Subscribe is the new thing to say.
Share,
Yeah.
Follow. Or
copy and paste some links. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll figure out how to do that stuff as the series goes on. All right, we will see you next time.
Stay spooky.
All right, we'll try.